500,000 steps yesterday, so we've now changed the rules because we were going for 500,000 each, and to get 1 million steps by the end of the week, we're just going to go, because you've done it so brilliantly, we're going to go for how many we can do in a week. Team Ben are well on our way for our Sport Relief Step Challenge. We're trying to get the nation to do 1 billion steps every day this week, and we're just trying to do our bit. I want to beat 80, of course, in the end, but we're a long way behind. One person who's constantly on the move is a guy called Josh Rylatt from Transformation Fit, and he has quite the story of how he got here. Josh, morning.
Morning, Ben. How are you?
I'm really well. So just tell us a bit about your company first.
Sure. So, our company is Transformation Fit, and we operate a private personal training studio based literally just around the corner from here on Bath Lane. And we specialise in working with busy men and women to lose body fat, improve their confidence, and also increase their energy levels, and ultimately just improve their quality of life.
I mean, that's an interesting point with exercise, isn't it? Well-gauged exercise increases your energy levels rather than making you just want to lie on the sofa for the rest of the day.
That's right, yeah. So a lot of people think, oh, well, I can't be bothered to exercise. And it is quite difficult to get yourself there. But once you get there, you do that workout, even if it's just 30, 40 minutes, you feel a lot better for it, and actually increases your energy levels and your sort of mental alertness for the rest of the day. So, there's a lot of benefits to it, not just the physical benefits.
But look, sport transformed your life in a more essential way, because I think it's fair to say that maybe you made some regrettable decisions in your teens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, as a teenager, I was somebody who always had a lot of energy, and I was somebody who was very disruptive at school. I couldn't quite contain my energy, and I also used to suffer with a lot of anger issues as well. I just get wound up very easily. Ultimately, you start getting into trouble. I remember getting kicked out of school when I was 15. I got arrested when I was 17. And ultimately, after that point of being arrested, it was like I had a realisation where I seen what that was doing to my friends and my family. I seen how that was affecting the people around me. And it wasn't just myself I was sort of getting into trouble, it was my family as well, because of how it was making them feel. So that's when I started training. And I started training because, and it's going to sound really stupid, but this is how insecure I was at that point. I started training because I thought, right, I'm really stick thin skinny right now. And if I get bigger muscles, then less people are going to want to fight with me. So therefore, I'm going to get in less trouble with people. So it was a bit of a sort of backwards way of thinking about it, but that's what I genuinely thought at that point. But 3 months into my training routine, I still looked like an ironing board if I sort of stood to the side. I didn't really have many new muscles, but I tell you what did happen, my mindset had completely transformed. And the way I thought and the way I perceived things and the way I felt about myself just, transformed completely. And that's what got me hooked, and that's what kept me training. And ultimately, once it became more of an intrinsic thing and I did it because I knew it made me feel good, the results came because I just did it more consistently.
I mean, it's an interesting point, that, isn't it? That at that sort of, late teens and so on, things aren't going well. There is a tendency, and I don't say this as a criticism of anybody, but there is a tendency of young people to sort of do this mindset. Things are happening to me. Things are being done to me. This is beyond my control. It's not fair. And I kind of get it, because actually taking control is scary, because then that means actually the fact I've been arrested is nobody's fault but mine.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. And you made a great point there, where my mindset before that was completely, why is this happening to me? Whereas looking back now, and I still believe this now, life's not happening to us; it's happening for us. And everything that's happening to you in your life is a result of your own thoughts and your own actions. And when you sort of adopt that mindset, yes, it's a lot more responsibility, but it's very empowering. And you come to a realization that you are actually ultimately in control of your life.
I mean, we've only just met, but you seem to me to be a really kind of chilled out kind of guy. You know what you're doing. I mean, who would have you ever bumped into a teacher, for example? Because I think that would be a lovely thing from them to see actually how it's possible to turn your life around. You're MD of a successful company. Yeah. You're fit and healthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's remarkable because, sometimes you do bump into teachers and people who would have seen me sort of at my lowest point. And I think it's quite shocking for people, because there has been a complete sort of turnaround in how I think. And for me, because it's happened over the duration of, 7 years now, not at any one point have I had, an instant realization. It's all sort of came accumulatively over the years. So I I'm just me, and I don't really associate with who I was back then. But I guess for people who haven't seen me in such a long time, yeah, it can be quite a shock to see how I come across now.
But look, that skinny, angry guy is still is a person you were, and of course you wouldn't be where you are now if that skinny, angry guy hadn't made that scary decision to do something to change your life. Otherwise, that path. Well, you can sort of see more arrest, prison, upset, family. You can sort of see how that happens.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really regret anything that I've done, because ultimately I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for those situations. So if anything, having to overcome the adversity that I had to overcome through getting myself, sent to prison and being arrested and, putting my family through a lot of stress and hurt, that's ultimately shaped me to become stronger. So when things go wrong in the business, or when I have, other problems which occur in my life, to me, it's like, well, this is just something which happens in life, and I'm always looking at ways in which I can learn from these situations, because that's something which I had to do, back when I was 17, 18 years old.
So I remember my family once said to me when I was a lot younger, you don't sweat the small stuff, and I've always tried to live by that. And but it takes a certain degree of confidence to do that, doesn't it? Because actually the small stuff is what winds you up on a day-to-day basis. This stuff, but actually, does it really matter? I mean, and I use it with the kids. Does it really matter that they've been on their devices for half an hour longer than they promised they would be? Mm-hmm. Well, probably not in the great scheme of things, but,
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. And, that's where I think fitness, training, things like mindfulness, meditation, I think that's where they can really have a big impact on people's lives. Because since I've been meditating and since I've been training, I do get less wound up about the little things in life. I have got more energy, and I have got more sort of headspace to be able to tackle the bigger problems that I've got in life.
If you don't train, if you don't meditate, does the skinny angry guy come back, or is he gone forever?
Not in full, no. But
there's a bit of grumpiness.
Yeah. So, for instance, we were travelling through the Sahara Desert a couple of months back on a charity drive with a couple of friends with some charity work we do over in Gambia, and we were driving these cars through the Sahara Desert, and I remember being cooped up in the back of the car for like 8 hours a day, and it got to the point where we were actually in the Sahara Desert camping out, and me and my friend Michael were actually picking up boulders in the Sahara to sort of lift and do exercise with, because I could feel myself getting a bit sort of wound up and a bit sort of, not snappy, but you become a little bit more irritable. So fitness, training, mindfulness, that all keeps me grounded and keeps me the chilled out guy, which I like to be.
I love the way you just casually throw in that you were just driving through the Sahara a couple of months ago. What was that? What work do you do away?
So, obviously, we've got the Transformation Fit, which is a private studio, and a big part of what we do is trying to give back to people who are less fortunate with us. So not only are we trying to, my mission is to empower the lives of people all around the world, not just people in Leicester. So we've got our core business in Leicester, which is, servicing our clients and helping them see results. But we also sponsor children in Gambia to access education where they otherwise wouldn't be. And part of a big initiative which we done at the start of the year was driving from Leicester to the Gambia through the Sahara Desert.
What was that like?
Oh man, it was a fantastic experience. I mean, things went a bit pear-shaped at points, but again, that thing about, life's happening for you and not to you, it made the trip overall, a lot more entertaining, a lot more enjoyable, because
it'd be really boring if you got in the car in Leicester and ended up in Gambia having arrived in air-conditioned splendour, wouldn't
exactly,
it? Like it's just a long drive then.
Yeah, so we drove there.
What were the cars?
It was a Mitsubishi Shogun, 1990s a Mitsubishi Shogun, a 1990s Mercedes E-Class. I actually joined the drive in Morocco because the guys, Dave and Mandy, who run the charity, were leaving on Boxing Day, and I've got a young daughter, so we had family over from New Zealand, so I wanted to sort of stay and wait a few days, and I met up with them in Marrakesh, and we drove from Marrakesh through the Sahara Desert, dropped the cars off to a couple of families in the Gambia, and then flew back after a few days of holiday as well.
I love it. It's lovely to meet you, Josh. Thank you. Come in and see us again. And the reason we're talking, obviously, it's Sport Relief Week this week, and I sometimes worry that the message is a bit. You've got to. And I've had several emails of people saying, "I'd love to join in the Steps Challenge, but I can't do 10,000 a day."
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I did 9,500 or something, and I seem to walk everywhere yesterday.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you do 1,000, or it's just about being a bit more active.
Yeah, and I think the key thing which people need to take away from this is it's raising your awareness about your activity levels or your lack thereof. And when that's brought to your sort of conscious mind, you're going to make a little bit more effort to try and, move those steps up every day. And yeah, it doesn't matter if you hit 10,000 steps right now. That's not achievable for a lot of people who are sat down most of the day. So just start off by tracking it, see what you're averaging, and then aim to increase it incrementally. Set yourself goals, challenge yourself like you guys are doing, which I think is a fantastic idea from Sports Relief. The added accountability, the added community aspect from starting leagues with friends and being able to sort of connect with...
And obviously joining Team Ben, which is by far and away the best team, of course, and will bring you great health benefits.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I tell you what, Ben, I'll see if I can get myself, my team, and a few of our clients to join Team Ben.
Oh, yes, please do. Josh Rylatt, thanks ever so much for joining us from Transformation Fit. People can get more information if they just put that online.
Yeah.
They've got a website and all that kind of stuff. And they can
Definitely.
find the details there.
Fantastic.
Josh, thank you.
Take care, Ben. Thanks a lot.
18 minutes past 10.